This was the original live looping device, invented in 1963 by somebody whose name we don't know. He worked for the French radio, and it was for a performance of Terry Riley in Paris in July 1963. And Terry Riley was what was called the minimalist, one of the American founders of musical minimalism. And he used this setup for a couple of years to make music, often playing keyboards, usually playing keyboards and saxophone. That's what he does, and still does. And he played all night, so there were, at the time, he used to do concerts that took all night. People would come and lie on mattresses and float away on LSD or something, and the music was very hypnotic and drone-like, but also rhythmic. And he did this for a while. I don't know when he stopped doing that. And then
He still does.
He still does it with the machines? I don't know.
I don't know about with machines.
Yeah.
He still does those machines.
That's right, that's right. So Terry Riley is still around and still making amazing music. And then eventually in 1973, I think, Brian Eno, who is known as the founder of ambient music, for instance, he knew about this and he knew the setup, and he had built his own setup which worked just the same. And one day, Robert Fripp, the guitarist from the group King Crimson, came to visit him, and he plugged his guitar in and played, and they made a record of that. And Robert Fripp at this time had no idea what this was, so he just played something, and it was later released as a record called No Pussyfooting. That was in 1973. And in the late 70s, Robert Fripp moved to New York and started doing this for a couple of years, using just this setup, the same things, the same kind of Revox. Revox is a German tape machine manufacturer, and he used these machines and did this as a solo program for several years until he found that the machines were not really reliable, and he started using digital here instead. So this is my own old tape recorder that I bought in 1974, and this is basically the same tape recorder that I bought 3 years ago on eBay for 200 euros, I think. So now I can do the same thing, just what Terry Riley did, what Robert Fripp did. And the way it works is the machines are stereo, so they have two channels, left channel, right channel, and I plug an instrument into one of those channels. Say I plug it into the left channel. In this case, it's a guitar because I cannot play keyboards or saxophone. I try to play guitar. So the guitar goes in here, and this machine records what I play. And then the recording is on the tape, and the tape is not getting collected here on the same machine in this case, but the tape goes across the room on this machine, and it's collected on this machine. And the distance could be any distance. So it's now a distance that makes a delay of 3 or 4 seconds, but it could be longer than that. So anyway, I'm recording here, the recording is on the tape. The tape goes there, it takes a couple of seconds until it reaches this machine. And this machine plays it back, what's on the tape. And the playback of the machine goes into a cable and goes into the first machine again, into the second channel, which is still open. The first channel takes the instrument, the second channel takes what comes from this machine. So what I played a couple of seconds ago now goes back into this machine, into channel B, and then it goes to that machine again, and it's the two signals are mixed into a mono signal on that machine. So the new thing and the old thing, it's what happens is that you get layers. It's like sediments in geology. It's layers of sound, and you put new layers on top while the old layers go away slowly. And what you get basically is a kind of what makes this so interesting is that the sounds that you just played come back a couple of seconds later and then eventually go away, and so you work your way through circular sediments of sound, so to speak. And for some reason this is totally hypnotic to do. It's also hypnotic to listen to if the player is good enough. I don't know if I'm good enough. But if you do it yourself, it's totally hypnotic. It's something that at the time when I started doing this, I did it for hours on end, and I didn't get tired of it. I don't know why. This is some psychological effect. So anyway, this is the recording, this is the playback machine, and I'm going to start it now. And this machine, of course, pulls the tape over there, and it has to be a little bit faster than this. If this would be faster, then I would get what we call tape salad in Germany. So I can only do it this way because this machine is a tiny little bit faster. So it pulls this over and, well, you see, I just started now. So it looks like this. It also has to be aligned ideally. So this is what it looks like. This tape is an old Revox, original Revox tape. It's also from the 70s. It's very good quality. It's one of my old tapes. There might be some old jazz rock records that you occasionally hear. I used to listen to Frank Zappa at the time a lot. Okay, so I'll play a couple of minutes and then give over to my colleague here. So just so that you have an idea what it sounds like. And of course, the machines that Fripp used and Terry Riley used, they were new and they were in good condition. These machines are vintage machines and they're not really in perfect condition. So you will hear lots of hissing and rumbling and low-fi noises that you might find charming or not. And
this is part of the game.
It's part of the, yes. So, okay. And also, the fun thing about this is you play a note, and if the note is a wrong note, it comes back many times. So it's kind of a risk. So Robert Fripp posted, he said it's fun, it's big fun, but it's very risky also. So if you perform something that's harmonic and you play a note that's totally not in scale, it'll come back and you cannot do anything about it. So this was before the undo button. So I don't know if it works now. This is like 4 seconds. So this distance corresponds to 4 seconds. You can also put them closer together and it will come back faster. Or you could put it, I could put the second machine over this table and I would have a delay of half a minute or something.